Jackson Hot my YouTube. Okay, so I'm back. After quite a few minutes and a little bit of despair because I'm like freaking out, I have decided not to use the sponge. Instead, I'm going to just use the microfiber towel that I got from Bed Bath & Beyond. Now, I know a lot of individuals will probably say that white is a no-no because obviously if for any reason, you know, lint does come out in my hair, it will be white. Well, I decided on white for two main reasons. One, there was no black, there was no brown. And then I was like, you know, I could get a dark color like, you know, blue or purple or something, but if the lint is there, I may not really see it. You know, at least with the white, if I see it, I can take, you know, like a black magic marker or something and color it black, right? That's if lint gets in my hair because, like I said, microfiber is supposed to be lint-free, and they just didn't have any black. I'm choosing to go with the towel instead of the sponge because I noticed with the sponge, my hair for some reason was clumping together in very large clumps, whereas with the towel, I don't know if it's because it's thinner and my hand is actually there, so I'm able to press harder, you know, or something. I don't know, but I noticed that my hair was clumping together much smaller versus the sponge. So I'm going to use the towel, and I'm pretty sure my hair isn't going to turn out like everyone else that I have watched, simply because I really have like nappy Negro hair. So it's just going to be different, but it's going to be a journey, right? Let's hope. I have re-wet my hair because my hair soaks up moisture like faster than a freaking sponge. And all of the videos with the towel rub method, not even just with the towel rub method, said, you know, you never, ever, 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 ever twist your hair dry. Like that is really, really not good to twist your hair dry. That's why they always recommend doing it right after a shampoo or wash or whatever the case may be. So I just took an empty bottle that I had, filled it with water, and sprayed my hair on it, and then I put some extra, I put just a very small drop of aloe vera and the loc oil, mixed it on my hand and put it on my head just to give my hair just some extra hold, although it probably doesn't need it. So I just have the microfiber towel, put it over my hands, and I'm going to start with my edges first because I need to put my glasses back on. I feel weird without them. And you know, everyone said to take care of this particular area because most people forget it when they're rubbing their hair, and it kind of takes the longest, or it's harder to lock up on its own as well. So take care on these edges back off in here. So I'm going to start with them, and I am going to oh, one thing important to note, to maybe if you're going to do this on your own, to practice doing it clockwise and then practice doing it clockwise just to see which way works better for your hair, because I was accidentally started doing it counterclockwise and it really wasn't taking that well. It was getting really, really large clumps and it wasn't twisting all that well. And so then I started going clockwise, which is to the right on this side, and it locked a whole lot better, or it was clumping together a whole lot better. So now I'm just going to do it for you guys so you can just see a little bit before I do my entire head, and then I will show you the finished product. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing.
Okay, so I probably should twist it a little bit longer, but I just kind of wanted to give y'all a little taste of what it might start to look like. And my hair, I think, is like that 4B, heck, probably a 4C kind of hair. And it's crazy. It was doing way better than this before. But you can see that it's kind of starting to, you know, like curl up or whatever on its own. Like my little baby hairs and stuff here. Yeah. I'm not really feeling this right now. Maybe I need to re-wet it and start over. But I just kind of wanted y'all to see that I was just literally just rubbing my hair. So now I'm going to turn off the video, re-wet my hair, and try and get it to my liking, rub it to my liking. So yeah, icky start. We'll see.
Jai out my YouTube. So it's actually nighttime that I'm doing this video because things just went a little haywire at my house when I was trying to do this. So anyways, I did want to get on here though and show you what everything ended up looking like, I guess. So basically what I did, like I said, I took the white microfiber towel and used that and just kind of rubbed over my head. I ended up taking a rubber band and putting it over my hand to kind of make it like a makeshift mitt because the towel was just kind of flying everywhere and getting on my nerves. Moving around like that. So I just took that towel and really just rubbed it all over my head. I kind of played with, you know, concentrating on my fingertips, on my palms, on my balls. It really didn't seem to make a difference which one I used. What did make a difference though is that I noticed that if I smashed down too hard and put too much pressure on my head as I was circling in the beginning, that it didn't create a coil or a curl, but rather it just smushed down my hair. So I would recommend starting off light just to kind of form which groups of strands of hair, whatever, are going to group together. And then as those are formed, then slowly adding pressure if they're not tightening or curling like they should be. And so I basically kind of did that through my head. I tried to start doing a system because I felt like I was just kind of rubbing all over the place and I wanted to kind of be somewhat systematic about it. So I ended up like just using a timer on my phone and just doing 1 minute, rubbing for 1 minute, one section at a time and trying to go in an organized fashion. I did take many breaks because my arm and my hands and my head was getting tired. But it did end up taking longer than I thought. I was assuming that it was going to take just as long as the loctician had said it was going to take her, which is about 30 or 40 minutes. But all together, including my breaks, it ended up taking me almost an hour, hour and a half to just kind of rub around to the point to where I thought that they had been formed enough. Luckily, they turned out as small as I had liked or I'm happy with. Because I have no idea how thick they're going to be. I'm hoping they're only pencil size thick, but we'll see. I do have an issue with one little section in the back of my head, and I took pictures so you'll be able to see what the back looks like. But there's one small, maybe 1 inch, 2 inch section in the back of my head, right at the nape where, you know, your head kind of dips in the center in the back of your head. And it just wasn't curling, and it's because that hair just in that one little area is just like bone straight. It just will not curl because it doesn't have a curl itself. So finally I just stopped and I basically just kind of had to go through and finger part it and just start twisting. And at this point I was just so frustrated and tired of rubbing that I really didn't care what that part kind of looked like. So I just finger parted and twisted. And of course it still didn't twist that much, so I added a little bit of Shea Moisture curling souffle gel that I had and kind of put that on to try and group it together. It worked a little bit, not that much. And so then finally I just left it alone. And I finally finished like maybe around 2 o'clock today, and it's now about 8:15, and I kind of went through again, and this time since they're already, the curls and the groups are already formed together, I just took my microfiber towel with the rubber band, and this time I only allowed myself to do 2.5 minutes of rubbing on both sides, like 2.5 minutes for this side, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, just so I don't go overboard on the twisting, because you can over twist and cause the locks to thin and then eventually break off. And so you don't want to twist too much, but you want to twist long enough that they get tight and they stay together periodically and get kind of trained to stay together. So I figured, 2.5 minutes, 10 minutes on my head every day should be enough so that I don't overdo it. And so I just got through doing that again, and I could immediately tell that the parts were a lot clearer. The coils kind of came together a whole lot tighter the second time around today. So I am energized or enthusiastic about what it will look like in the future. That back part still, even the second time tonight, still wouldn't like twist up on its own, so I had to manually go in and twist it again. So I'll probably have to do that for a while, or at least until they grow long enough to where I can maybe two-strand twist it with some type of holding gel and keep them together or something. And some of them I had to go through and kind of individually twist as well, because they just kind of weren't catching with the towel. But for the most part, I think today has been a success. So we'll see how it goes in a few more days. But I took pictures so you can see close-ups, but because I can't really see what the camera is seeing right now. But I'll just try and show you a 360 view of what my hair looks like. And so again, when I retwisted it, I just took my little conditioning spray, sprayed it over my head. Not too much, just enough to dampen it and make it a little wet. And then I took my little mixture of oil, rubbed it over my palms, and just rolled it over my head, and then took the towel and twisted it again, and that's basically it. I'm going to let it dry for a few minutes before I tie it up with a do-rag to go to sleep, so that way it lays down and whatnot. But I'm a little nervous because I'm afraid that as I'm sleeping that they're going to move and unravel, which I'm sure is common, but me being who I am, I'm kind of afraid and don't want that to happen, but we'll see. So that's it. Day 0, you guys. Installation of new traditional locks using the towel rub method. Stay tuned. Jai Siddhartha.